This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Sometimes I get to be the interviewee, and that's what happened the other day at KSNT television in Topeka when Hannah Brandt interviewed me for an upcoming, I think any day now, watch Facebook and I'll let you know exactly when, special that she is doing on Native American History Month. And I thought, well, I think I'll just follow suit. And each week this month, we will do a segment on some of Kansas' most interesting American Indian history. And there's just so many people I would love to talk about in the past. Allegawaho, Washungah, Satanta, Romanos. There are just so many people I would love to talk about. And so many of my friends now. Pauline Sharp presented the other day at the Fort Wallace Museum as her grandmother, Lucy Eades, the first female chief of the Kaw Nation. And just so many people doing such cool things in the past and right now, that there's so many stories, and I hope to share a lot of those with you this month. So make sure you watch this one and then stay tuned for the next 3 weeks.
The world of archaeology has been turned on its ear by the recent discoveries near Ark City. The lost city of Etzanoa, according to Wichita State Professor Donald Blakeslee, was extensive with a population of around 20,000. While we thought we knew everything of our state's original residents, there is much, much more to be learned. We will share Dr. Blakeslee's insights in the coming weeks. According to nativelanguages.org, the original inhabitants of what would become Kansas were the Arapaho, Comanche, Kansa, Kiowa, Missouri, Osage, Oto, and Pawnee, and occasionally the Cheyenne and Wichita tribes. Almost a dozen tribes were removed from the East during the 19th century's Indian removal policy and moved to Kansas. Now, Kansas is home to 4 tribes: the Iowa Tribe of Kansas and Nebraska, the Kickapoo, the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation, and the Sac and Fox Nation. Their reservations are primarily located in the northeastern corner of the state. The tribe for whom our state is named was relocated to the Indian Nations, or the Indian Territory, which became Oklahoma decades ago. Their story is told through the Kaw Mission State Historic Site in Council Grove, and the tribe has purchased some of their original ground nearby and return regularly for powwows. Other historic sites that preserve the stories of these tribes are the Shawnee Mission State Historic Site in the town of Shawnee Mission, the Iowa and Sac and Fox Mission Site in Highland. Sadly, the museum at Highland is no longer open, but the grounds do have some interpretive markers. The old Potawatomi Mission is part of the Kansas State Historical Society grounds in Topeka, and of course the Pawnee Indian State Historic Site is in Republic County, Kansas. Haskell Indian Nations University in Lawrence continues to educate students from tribes across the nation, and many of its graduates remain in Kansas to make their homes and careers. The school, like the missions and other Indian boarding schools, has a mixed history, a forced assimilation and destruction of native culture, but it is moving into a new century with new goals, serving its students rather than indoctrinating them, celebrating their tribal cultures rather than deeming them inferior. Over the next weeks, we will share the stories of some of the individuals who made history and the stories of today. We will share books that really should be in your library if you hope to understand the American Indian history of Kansas and some of the Native Americans among our friends and neighbors who are making history right now.
Well, back to work, folks. I'm Deb Goodrich, and I'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.